Alright, hello, welcome to the start of Shenandoah National Park, where there are lots of beautiful views and vistas over the mountains. Not so much today, but yeah, we just got dropped off by the hostel and yeah, ready to tackle the next 105 miles or so of the national park, so we'll catch you there. Hi, good morning. So this is actually Thursday, the 16th, I want to say. So I've missed a whole day. So Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday. We did the shorter like 7.5 mile day to the first shelter as we entered Shenandoah, and then yesterday we did 13 miles to this shelter here. I just didn't record any footage because there's a few things. Well, mainly it was just like it was raining, but that kind of like annoying rain where it's like it doesn't have the decency to downpour. It's just like really light. A little bit, but like most of the time it was just like that really light rain that just hangs in the air. So even if you've got a raincoat on or something, it's still like just hanging in the air as you walk into it and hits you in the face and just soaks through everything. So just everything got drenched again after getting drenched the day before. So fortunately today is a bit nicer and sunnier. So I've got some stuff on the outside of my pack to hopefully dry off a little bit. But yeah, also we're just kind of taking it pretty easy at the moment because we're still kind of uncertain about Korok's hip. Like it seems fine when we do, like if we walk on the road or something like that, it seems okay, and then it kind of can play up a bit other times. So just kind of taking it easy, giving her plenty of time to stretch and things, take breaks and stuff, and see how we get on. Yeah, so we're just having a bit of a relaxed morning, watching birds flying in and out of the roof of the shelter. Oh, there's one now. Yeah, he's up there somewhere. I kind of see it. He's up there. Oh, they're up there like building a little nest. So yeah, we're planning to do, well actually not really planning to do anything today, we're just gonna walk, see how far we get. I want to at least go about 7 or 8 miles because there is a wayside. I think I should explain actually, in Shenandoah, in the national park, there are things called waysides, which are like just roadside like stops in cafes and things like that. So there's quite a few like food options along the way. So before we were walking along the Blue Ridge Parkway, and there's kind of a scenic road called Skyline Drive that runs through Shenandoah. But it's like because it's a national park, it's also like a toll road, so it's a scenic road, but because it's a toll road, there's not as many people on it. So it's a little quieter if we do decide to do any road walking. But I guess, yeah, for the people doing the scenic drive, there's all these like rest stops and picnic areas and places that sell food and everything. So as you can imagine, the hikers make good use of those as well. But yeah, we're going to try and stop there at the first one. We've heard good things about, is it blackberry milkshakes that they sell here? I guess, I don't know if they're made with blackberries from the park or something, but everyone seems to rave about them, so we'll go and check those out and see if they're any good. Dun, dun, dun. We did it, 900. How excited are you?
I won't talk about it.
Okay. That's pretty crazy. The next one is, the fact that the next milestone is like 1,000 miles is pretty crazy. I don't really know what to think of that, so. Oh. Yeah. I don't know, that's very emotional. We've had a lot of ups and downs the last few days and stuff, so it's really good that we both got here. Anyway, we're almost at the shelter, so we'll see you in a bit. Morning everyone, we are just starting our day. A little climb up and we've got to this viewpoint at what are we called? High Top Mountain, or just High Top. But we got to this little viewpoint and it looks like we're basically like above the clouds up here. Like, I don't know if you can see, is that going to focus? So Skyline Drive is down there. So we obviously spent the night up at the hut, the shelter up here. But it's pretty crazy that like there's kind of like blue skies up above and then you see down into the valley and stuff. When, you know, we're kind of, it explains why I woke up this morning and couldn't see anything out of my tent, because it was like so hazy and foggy because we were basically just in the clouds. But yeah, anyway, we've got another big day today and we're hoping to get to the next, is it Big Meadow? Mm-hmm. Big Meadow Wayside. It's about 20 miles away, but with a sort of combination of you know, because the trail just goes parallel to Skyline Drive, you know, you can kind of just walk on the trail when there's a viewpoint. Got an ant on me. Walk on the trail when there's a viewpoint, and then if there's an outlook from the road, just get off at the next road crossing, walk to that outlook, take a look at the view, get back on trail, and you can kind of just like pick your own adventure.
but you're not passing every white blaze.
I'm not passing every single white blaze, actually. So.
Don't cyberbully us.
Yeah. Is that what you're getting in your comments?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I know some people are purists and will want to go past every single white blaze. I'm more of the opinion that I'm not hiring a car and driving along Skyline Drive. I'm simply walking parallel to the trail and taking in different views, and I think enjoying the trail is kind of more important than the technicalities of whether you pass every single white blaze or not. At the end of the day, we're still walking from Georgia to Maine under our own steam, and we're not, like, you know, skipping ahead 200 miles or something because we just don't fancy doing a section or something like, you know what I mean? So that's not what the trail's about for me, at least. Obviously everyone, if you are a white blaze purist and everything, awesome, hike your own hike. I'm not going to begrudge anyone doing it the way they want to and get what they want out of it. For me, it's more about just the experience and the journey, and I'll smiles before miles. So yeah, I'll if I get to sit down at an overlook on the road and enjoy a nice view, I think I'd rather do that. So anyway, mini rant over. Let's get going. Good afternoon. I'm a very late start today. So yesterday pushed another big mile day through some not so pleasant weather to Big Meadows Lodge. So we stayed in an actual hotel room and Korok's mum came to visit us and had dinner with us. I think the original plan was that she was going to just drive home afterwards, but the fog coming in, and obviously what we were walking through as well, you would have seen some of the clips, like you couldn't see 20-30 feet ahead of you, and understandably the prospect of walking back through that kind of fog in the dark, driving through that kind of fog in the dark back through the park was not appealing. So we've hang on, where do we go here? Trail this way. Okay, so she stayed in the room last night, and then today she basically drove us into a town called Luray, which we've been to before. There's some like huge caverns and caves and stuff that we've been to on previous trips, but we basically drove to the Outfitters and to Walmart there to do a sort of mini resupply and get so I got some new insoles, because these shoes have about 400 miles on them. Oh, hello, hang on a second.
Hi.
I'm just being stared out. We're just having a staring contest right now. Oh, he's not bothered. So, hello, I'm just going to walk past you, don't mind me. Don't hoof me or anything. Anyway, yeah, these shoes have about 400 miles on them, but my insoles, oh, there he goes. My insoles had about like 700 or something. No, more than that. No, whatever. Anyway, way more than the sort of 500 miles you recommended to change out your insoles, and they were like falling apart and were like completely flat and weren't offering any more support. So bought a new pair of insoles for my current shoes, and yeah, we're just all of that to say that we're setting off today at 4 p.m. to just do a very, very short 3.5 miles away from the resort to the next shelter back on trail. So yeah, very much a Nero kind of day, but you know, much needed after pushing big miles the last few days. Like, I've stopped doing the whole, oh my god, it's a 20-mile day, or bigging up that achievement, because it's kind of becoming normalised now, which is good. Also, part of that is because some of those 20 miles are on the road, some of the 20 miles are on the trail, but the trail through Shenandoah is pretty forgiving. You know, there's no real massive climbs or anything, and like I say, for the most part, a lot of it follows the road, so it's kind of, I'm not going to say level, but you know, more level than other bits have been. So back on trail, and yeah, only a short one today, just to the shelter, and we'll keep pushing tomorrow. All right, just a quick note to show you, this is what I'm kind of talking about when I say, you know, the trail and the road are perpendicular, or parallel to each other. So the road is somewhere up there. I can hear cars, and I know we're just below an overlook, and this is the view from the trail. So, I mean, obviously it's bad weather now, but you know, that's pretty much par for the course for this bit, where, like, you know, about 30-40 feet up there, there's an overlook where you can see through and above all these trees, and we're just walking in these bushes and I can't see anything. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with a nice view. Obviously today makes no difference, you can't see shit regardless of where you are, but anyway, almost there. Hello, I am feeling very well rested after our very exhausting 3.5 mile walk yesterday, after spending a night in a real bed and eating town food. Such hardship, I know. But today we are either going to do about 11 or 15 miles, depending on how we feel, because we are basically approaching the end of the park in the next sort of like 45-ish miles. So there's a shelter just before the end of the park where, to reach it, we only need to average about 13 miles a day. So we can take it a little easier, and then from that last shelter do a quick couple of miles down to a road where there is a free shuttle that takes us into the town of Front Royal. Nice little waterfall here, that's cool. Do I need water? No, I'm good. So we'll be in the town of Front Royal most likely, and then probably in about, well, we've got 3 days to get to that shelter, so on the 4th day we'll be in Front Royal. So we're either, like I say, either get to that road and take the free shuttle into town, or there is the option of one of Korok's dad's friends lives just outside the town, so I think we have the offer of showering and doing laundry there, which would be nice. So we're just one or the other. Either way, shower and laundry in 4 days, which is nice. And then from there, I think it's another 50 or so miles before you get to Harper's Ferry, which is the kind of unofficial sort of spiritual halfway point, where the headquarters of the Trail Conservancy is. The actual halfway point obviously kind of changes each year depending on how many miles of trail have been added or removed as part of trail maintenance. But there's kind of like, you know, there's like an official halfway point for this year, which will be at about 1100-ish miles. There's a big like signpost that's like the like halfway point of like the original trail, and like I say, Harper's Ferry, which is kind of like a traditional halfway point of like where I've picked a terrible time to start filming. There's lots of rocks and wet patches. But yeah, like people who do flip-flops and stuff, so they go halfway north and then flip up and come back down south, they usually use Harper's Ferry as their midway point. So the fact that we're, I think now, less than 100 miles from there is pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to stop filming now. This is what the trail has become, so alright, I'll catch you in a bit. Hello, we are planning to do our biggest mile day today. So, because the town of Front Royal, or at least like the road crossing for it, is in like less than 30 miles now, and there's a shelter about 3 or so miles from that road. So today we are planning to do that all in one go and do just less than 24 miles to get to that shelter. So that would be our biggest mile day. Obviously with still being in Shenandoah, well, this will be our last day in Shenandoah, but the terrain's been a lot more forgiving, so I'm fairly confident we can make that. But also last night when we got to the shelter, we had caught up with our friends that we were hiking with the last few weeks ago now, but we're sort of,
The last time we were actually hiking with them was before Christmas.
yeah, we were like perpetually like 2 days behind them, but they took a day off and did a shorter day, and we've been pushing big enough miles that we've caught up with them, so that's really nice. It's good to see them. So we'll probably end up being around them till going into Harper's Ferry together, which will be nice. Anyway, I think one of them is planning to do the 4-state challenge, which is not for me, which is basically you try and walk in 4 different states in one day. So you start at the end of the Virginia border, walk the 7-odd miles through West Virginia, and then like the 30 or 40 miles of Maryland, and finish when you cross the border into Pennsylvania, and try and do that in one day. So you have to like get up at like midnight, give yourself the full like 24 hours, but That's not for me. But yeah, anyway, biggest mile day. I'll let you know how we get on. Alright, we're just coming across something interesting. So there's a little while ago, if you were watching the videos, you would have seen we went through an area that had got affected by a forest fire. Like it had just very recently been put out, so you could still smell it. So we're just walking through an area now that a similar fire, but like way earlier in the year. But it's just really cool because obviously the last one we saw was like freshly burned, whereas like here you can see like there's still like the shoots of new plants and stuff is coming up through the burned ground. Like all these trees like haven't got their leaves, but the bigger ones, that's like their bases are all charred. But like, you know, I mean like here this tree's all burned at the bottom, but the leaf cover's still coming in, so it's kind of cool to see those different cycles of the of like forest fires and stuff. You can see how it's they're obviously like important for, you know, renewing the forest, and it's like just as important a part of the forest's life cycle as like the seasons and, you know, rain, all that sort of, all those various cycles. Are kind of different areas need a fire every now and then to just kind of keep everything in check. Obviously, what part of the problem now is that people exist in these areas, so you kind of have to balance the need of the forest and the needs of people to not be set on fire and have all their stuff burned down. So it's yeah, it's just an interesting, well, I thought it was interesting anyway, kind of interesting kind of look at this kind of like weird cycle in nature. Anyway, gonna keep going. We're getting up towards this next wayside, the last wayside in the park that we're going to go past, so looking forward to that. Just skip down to the road for a second to have a look at this view. But it's really cool. It's like when you get to these places where you can see the kind of clear like ridges of the Appalachians. So like, you know, there's the whole ridge that goes up from along the east coast, but it's all like, you know, if you look at the map from on a wider scale, you can see like how it's all like sort of like crumpled and wavy. So you can kind of see here like there's like one ridge, then the next, then the next, and you can kind of see how it's like kind of concertinaed, which is pretty cool. Also down there is the town of Front Royal, where we're hoping to get to tomorrow. So we've got another 15 or so miles to go, 14 maybe to go today, and then we'll get into town tomorrow. So all right, let's keep going. Well, that was a fun night at the shelter. So we got there, and with the people we've been hiking with and a group of southbound section hikers, there was no space at the shelter and there was no tent sites left, but the shelter did have like a big porch like half covered porch thing out front. And so we just cowboy camped, which is just set our stuff up on the deck, just slept in the open air, which was really nice. It was, well, mainly because it didn't rain, so that was always a bonus, but also, like, you know, it's just nice waking up in the middle of the night and then just seeing the night sky and everything. That was really pretty. So anyway, we're doing 3 miles this morning to get to a road crossing where one of Korok's dad's friends is coming to pick us up. And they've very kindly allowed us to shower and do laundry at their house, and then probably go and get food or do food or something. I don't know. We're not sure of the rest of the plan. And then after that, we'll get back on trail, so we're not staying in town, and probably just hit up the next shelter or something. But yeah, just looking forward to being clean. Alright, quick update. We got dropped off by Ingrid, who's Dad's friend. So thank you very much to her for hosting us for the day. I'm now freshly showered and laundered, and all of that seemingly has been undone by a mile of walking in this heat. So we're only doing a short one today. So we did 3 miles down to the road, and we're doing 5.2, I think, to the first shelter. So short one today, considering that we did our biggest day yet yesterday, but still on track to get into Harper's Ferry as planned. But yeah, feeling incredibly warm, but I'm looking forward to getting into Maryland and Pennsylvania, because when I look in far out at the map, obviously it's broken into sections. So the first section from like the first 250 odd miles includes the Smokies. The next section is like the rest of North Carolina and Tennessee, etc. And like, it shows you the sort of average elevation change, like ascent and descent per mile. And the last 3-4 map sections have been an elevation change of about anywhere from about 450 to like 550 feet per mile on average. And the map for Maryland and Pennsylvania is about 250. So it looks like a much flatter, well, it's not flat, it's flatter section. So I'm hoping we can push some big days there and build up plenty of buffer before we hit like New Hampshire and the Whites, and our speed dramatically decreases. But yeah, just got to push on to this next shelter. I'll see you there. Alright, we just got to the shelter. Check this out, it's all to ourselves. We've got a porch. There's an area to play whatever that is. Horseshoes. It's a little picnic area. This is real nice. Spring and shower over there. Yeah. Do you want to go try it out?
Yeah.
Alright. If anyone else turns up, but we've got this place to ourselves for now, at least it looks like. So, I'll catch you later.